Hey, hi guys, welcome back to Backup and the Tech Automation Laboratory. So this is a part 11 for mobile automation testing for beginner. In this tutorial, I'll talk about how to implement page object model for Android apps, iOS apps, and mobile web applications. So this is a high level agenda I'm having guys. So first I'll talk about what is page object model, why page object model is required, what is page factory, and then I'll talk about what is the scenario which we are going to automate. Next, we will create the respective page classes and the Java packages. Then next, I'll talk about how to create the utility method that will launch us the Android native app. Next point I have is we'll create the base page. By using that page, how we can reuse in the n number of page classes. Next point I have is how to create the page classes and what it contains. So finally we'll create the page object test case. We'll execute the same test case, then we will review the results. Finally I'll talk about how to make changes and what are the changes you need to make while designing the page object model concept for the Android apps, iOS apps and mobile web apps. So let us talk what is page object model and why it is required. So before talking about the page object model, I will talk about why page object model is required. So simply I'll open Notepad here. See guys, before introducing the page object model concept, what people used to do is simply they used to create the object of new. If I wanted to launch Chrome browser, I used to create the Chrome driver object. Then I'll assign to the web driver type. By using this driver object, I used to call one method called find element. Then inside this, I used to specify the by dot the locator. It can be XPath, ID, etc. whatever it is. So inside that I'll specify the locator value. So let us say value 1. So once we have identified the web element or the Android element or the iOS element, so here I used to say, for example, if I wanted to check whether it is displayed in the web page or not, so I'll be calling is displayed method. So in the same way, if I wanted to check the same element is enabled or not, so I have to use the same, sorry guys, so same line, and here I'll be calling to the one method called is enabled. So both the methods will returns you the true or false. If this element is displayed in the web page, it will returns you the true. If not, it will return you the false value. So in the same way, this is enabled also. If the element is enabled in the web page, then it will display you the true value, otherwise it will display you the false value. So if I wanted to send the some data to this particular web element, so what I will do is simply I'll copy this line, then I'll call to the one method called send keys. So inside that you can pass the data. Here I'm passing Appium by backup ion. So that's all guys. So if I wanted to find the element, I'll be using the same syntax, that is driver object dot then find element by the locator and the value. See guys, I'm performing action on the single element, but I'm writing 3 lines of code. Say for example, in the later point of time, our DOM details got changed. then you need to come to the each and every line and you need to verify whether my XPath is correct or not. If it is changed, and to make it as a value 2. So again I need to come back to the next line and then I need to modify the element value as a 2 because it is got changed into the value as a 2. See guys, these are dummy values. Simply I'm just demonstrating in what cases this page object model design pattern got introduced and people started using it in the real-time projects. See guys, if like this, if you are having 100,000 lines of code, so it is very difficult you to maintain the elements, that is a locator values, right? So this is one of the reason why the people introduced the page object model design pattern. So this is all about why page object model is required. So let us talk about what is page object model. It is a design pattern guys. So it is one of the widely used design pattern in the real-time projects. So it has become very much popular. So in the nowadays in the real-time projects you can see this design pattern to improve the maintenance part, to reduce the duplicate code. So this is all about the page object model. So why page object model is required and what is this page object model. Then let us talk about what is PageFactory. So it is a class in the Selenium, so which will be using it for the initializing all the elements in the particular page. Say for example, I have created the page object page 1. So in that I have written n number of elements. So by using this page factory, I'll be initializing all the elements. So in the normal way, so directly what we are doing, by using the driver object, we are doing the find element. But you will not see any find element in the page object classes. So by using this page factory, we will be initializing our all the elements in the respective page class. So let us move on to the scenario which we are going to automate. Let us open our emulator. So this is my emulator guys. So simply I'll open the one APK, that is API demos. We have already used this API demos Android app. So simply I'll open this app. Then I'll click on the views. Then next I'll click on the autocomplete. In the third page, I'll simply read the three-dot scroll message text from the third page. So this is all about scenario guys. So let me close this app. Let us talk about the same scenario with respect to the page object model design pattern. See guys, first I'll open this API demos. So this will be the first page. So I'll be creating the one page called page object page 1. So based on the need or based on the demand, based on the requirement, you can give the proper name to your page. So in my case, so simply I'm specifying it as a page object page 1. So I'll be creating the one page called page object page 1. So inside that I'll identify the views element, then I'll click on this element. So I'll be writing a simple method that will click on the views link. So this will be the first page. If I click on the views, so this is our page object page 2. So I'll be identifying autocomplete element. Then I'll be clicking on this autocomplete link from the page object page 2. So after clicking on the autocomplete, so this will be the page object page 3 for me. Then I'll simply read this text, that is three-dot scroll. Then we'll display it in the console from the page object page 3. So that's all guys. So what I'll do, simply I'll close this app. So that's all about the scenario which we are going to automate. So next point we are having is we have to create the Java packages and the classes. So let us go to our Eclipse IDE. See guys, so simply what I'll create a simple package now. So package name is com.testautomation.mobile.pages. So that's it. So in the same way, I'll create a 3 pages class inside the com.testautomation.mobile.pages. So I'll be creating the first page now. That is page object, page 1. So in the similar way, I'll create another 2 classes. That is page object, page 3. So that's it. So page object, page 3, page 2, this is. So a similar way, I'll add one more class. That is page object, page 3. So I'll go to the inside the com.testautomation.mobile.scripts. So I will add one class. So the class name is page object test case. So that's it guys. So inside the page object test case, I will write a one test-ng test public void page object test case. So that's it guys. So we can import the test-ng package. So this comes from the org.testng.annotations. Okay guys, so that's all from the test-ng test case.java. So we are done with creating the Java package and the classes. So we have created 3 pages, that is a page object page 1, page object page 2, then page object page 3. In the script package we have created one class, that is page object test case. So let us move on to the next point. So we'll be creating a utility method that will launch us as the e.printDemos Android app. So what I'll do is, you can go to the YouTube, you can search Appium by Appium, then you can go to the Appium series by Appium. So here you can go to the number 7, that is a part 7. See guys, this is a part 7. I have discussed about how to scroll into mobile element. So in the description, right, so you can copy 8 to 9 lines of code, that is from the desired capabilities to the implicit weight. So this will launches me the e.printDemos app. So what I'll do, simply I'll go to the Eclipse IDE. So inside the com.testautomation.utility, so I'm opening the browser utility class. So here I'm creating one method that will return me the Android driver as an object. So here I'm specifying one method called public static. So the return type of this method is Android driver. Then here the name of the method I'm specifying it as an Android driver. Get Android driver. So that's it guys. So simply I'll paste the code which is copied from the that part 7 tutorial. So this is a generic type, you can specify it or you can just delete it, doesn't matter. So simply I'll surround these lines with the try and catch block. See guys, return type of this method is Android driver, so that's the reason at the end I need to return driver object. So that's the reason I'll simply declare this variable in the global and I'll assign the null value to the driver object. So that's all guys. So still we are getting the error here. So you can, if we have specified the only I, so just I have added the D at the end. So that's all about creating the utility method that will launch us the Android app. So let us create the base page now. So I'll go to the Eclipse IDE. So we have added 3 pages under the mobile dot page, that is com dot test automation dot mobile dot pages. So inside that I'll add one more class. The name of the class is BasePage. See guys, we are having 4 page classes and 1 test case. So inside that we'll be implementing all our steps after implementing the our page object classes. So what I will do is I'll go to the my notepad, one of the text. So simply I'll copy this. So I will explain you what each of the lines are doing here. So this is my base page. That's it guys. So let us import the related packages now from the Android driver page factory, then Appium field decorator. So that's all guys. See guys, I have declared one Android driver object that is protected. So why I have declared it as a protected? Because I can use this class in the subclasses. So if it is a protected, you can use in the subclasses. So this is my constructor. So this constructor is accepting the Android driver as an object. Simply it will take the driver object and it will assign to the this Android driver. So by using the page factory, so we have already discussed about this page factory. It is a class which will initialize the all the elements. See guys, here I'm calling to the init elements. That means it is initializing all our elements which is exist in the respective class. So here we have created the object of Appium field decorator. Then I'm passing as a this. So that here I'm saying that initialize all the elements in the current class. So this means it is referring to the current class. So that's all about the base page. So let us talk about how to create page classes and what it contains. So we have already created the page classes. So let us discuss what it contains, each of the page class. See guys, I'll open the first page, that is a page object, page 1. See guys, any page in page object model, it will contain 3 phases. The first phase is it will contain the constructor. So here I'm using one super keyword. Under that I'm passing the driver object. See guys, whenever you are calling the parent class constructor, you'll be using the super keyword. So that's the reason I am using the super keyword. It will call to the super class, that is a base class constructor, and it will pass the driver object here. So that is the first phase. That is the first phase here. So we are passing the driver object to the base class. In the second phase, we are identifying the all the elements. That can be Android element, that can be web element, that can be iOS element. So first two phases we are done with. The last phase we are having is we will be implementing the abstraction methods. Say for example, in the page you are entering the username and password and you are clicking on the login button. So that flow will be writing one method in the page class that will perform entering the username, entering the password and clicking on the login button. So that means just you are calling the some method in the test case, log into application, but you don't know what it is doing behind that. So that's called the abstraction method. See guys, let us copy this structure, simple structure. Then I'll paste it in the page object page 1. I don't need this. See guys, first we have to define the constructor of the same. So define the constructor. So constructor name will be same as the class name here. Then you can import the related packages. So that's it guys. So you can import the related Android driver also. So let me delete this. See guys, so this is a page object page 1. So we have to inherit in the page object page 1 the class called BasePage here. So here I'm using the extends keyword. So here I'm specifying the BasePage class name. So that's all guys. So this is a simple structure you need to maintain in the another two classes, that is a page object page 2 and page object page 3. So simply I'll copy this and I'll go to the page object page 2. Then here I'm simply replace the constructor name. So after that I'll do inherit the base page, extends base page. So that's all guys, we are done with page 2 as well, that is page object page 2. Let us move on to the page object page 3. So let me copy the structure of this. So simply I'm replacing the constructor name here. Then I'll inherit the properties of base page. So that's it guys. So here you can declare a number of elements and you can write a abstraction method which will perform the action on the these elements. So that's all guys, we are done with creating the base page and we are implemented all our page object pages now. So before creating our page object test case, what we have to do, we have to implement a code for the scenario which we have discussed. So just I'm going to the app here. See guys, so I'll open in the same way I'll open the my Appium inspector. If you don't know anything about Appium inspector, please go back to my previous tutorials and watch it once again so that you will get a clear idea on Appium inspector. So here I'm refreshing, sorry guys, I'm just refreshing the page. See guys, whatever the screen I'm able to see in this emulator, I can see the same screen here also. So simply I'll open the API demos here. So that's it, I'll say refresh. So after launching this API demos, we have to click on the views, right? So what I will do, simply I'll click on this views. So this is our page one, that is page object page one in our framework. So I'll write an XPath in such a way that it will click on the views link. So if you look at the elements, sorry, attributes and the value, so I'll use the text attribute and the value. So I'll go to the search. So here I'm selecting the XPath. So here I'm writing a simple XPath by using the text attribute is equal to, in the single quotation, I'm just specifying the value, that is views. If we click on search, see guys, in the left side you can see that views link is getting highlighted. So that means this XPath is correct. Simply I'll be copying this XPath and I'm going to the page one, that is page object page one. So here I'm simply pasting it. See guys, already you can specify the Android element name. So already I have specified views underscore link. So that's it. So here I'm writing one method called click on views. Click on views. So inside that, simply I'll use this element and I'll say dot so click method. So that's it guys. So I have identified the one Android element, that is views, and I have created one method called click on views. So inside that, I'm simply using this element, I'm calling to the click method. So that's all about the page object page one. So let us move on to the page object page two. So simply I'll click on the views. So this is our second page. So simply I'll go to the Appium inspector, then I'll do refresh. See guys, we have to click on the autocomplete. Simply I'll select the link. So in the similar way, whatever the element we have identified we use, in the similar way I'll use that text attribute and simply I'll copy this value and I'll go to search. Instead of views, I'll specify the autocomplete. See guys, it is highlighting the autocomplete link. I'll go back, simply I'll copy this XPath. So this is my page object, page 2. Simply I'll paste it here. That's it. So here I'm specifying the name of the element as autocomplete underscore link. So here I'll say click on autocomplete. So that's it. So inside this I'll use this element, that is Android element. Then I'll say click. So that's it guys. So we are done with implementing the two pages, that is a page object page one. So inside this we have identified the views link and we are clicking on this. In the page object page 2 we have identified the autocomplete link and we are clicking on the autocomplete link. So let us move on to the page 3. So in the emulator I'll click on the autocomplete. So this is our page 3. So in this method what we have to do, we have to read the text, that is 3.scroll. So I'll go to the Appium inspector. So I'll refresh it. So we have to read the third text, that is 3.scroll. So in the similar way I'll refer the text attribute itself. I'll copy this. Then I'll go to the search. So that's it guys. Then I'll click on the search. See guys, if you click on this element, so it is highlighting the three dots scroll element. So that means it is proper XPath. Let us copy this XPath, go to the Eclipse. Here I'll say scroll link. See guys, we have identified the object, that is the element in the page object page 3. So the name of the element is scroll underscore link. So here I'll say get scroll text. So that's it guys. So before doing a get text, simply I'll wait for the 2 seconds. So here I'm putting Thread.sleep for 2 seconds, that is 2000 milliseconds. So I'll use the scroll underscore link element and I'll say get text. So that's it guys. So I'll do a one sysout here, system.out.println. So inside this, the text from Android app is, then simply I'll call this method in the inside the sysout. So that's all guys. So we are done with implementing all our page object classes. So till now what we have discussed is, so we have discussed what is page object model, why it is required, what is page factory, and the scenario which we are going to automate. We have created all the Java packages and classes, and also we have created the utility method that will launch us the Android app. Then we have created the base page. Then we have created the page classes and the structure also we have discussed. Now we have to create the page object test case. So creating test case we'll discuss in the next tutorial. So in the next tutorial, stay tuned for the next tutorial. So I'll be discussing how to create the page object test case. See guys, we have already created one class called page object test case. So in this, first we have to launch the web browser. Sorry guys, not launching the web browser. So we have to call to this method. First we have to launch the Android app. Then we have to call subsequent methods which are there in the respective pages. So in the next tutorial, I'll discuss on how to create the page object test case, and we will execute the same script and we will review the results, and also I'll discuss how to make changes and what are the changes required in the designing page object model for Android apps, iOS apps, and the mobile web apps. Basically, the important point I'm making it here clear. So returning the driver object to the next page is very important. So what are the different ways of returning the Android driver object to the different pages? That also we will discuss in the next tutorial. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. If you have any doubts, you can comment in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you guys.